I spent 3 decades under the heavy robes of priesthood, 30 years, lifting the golden chalice with trembling hands, swinging the censer until holy smoke curled like prayers toward heaven, chanting ancient hymns that echoed through stone and candlelight. I thought I knew what it meant to serve God. I thought reverence was holiness, tradition was truth, mystery was the end, not the beginning. And at the center of that belief stood the miracle of the holy fire in Jerusalem. If the fire descends every pacha, I told my parishioners, then surely God is still pleased with us. I built my faith on it. I defended it fiercely. I traveled across seas just to stand in that ancient church of the Holy Sepulchre, to watch the flame descend from heaven. I wept when I saw it. I kissed the candles lit by it. And yet, I had seen the flame, but I had missed the fire. Every morning, before the city stirred, I entered the sanctuary. The air was thick with old wood beeswax and the faint tang of incense lingering from yesterday's prayers. I lit candles. I kissed the icons. I whispered litanies that had been whispered for centuries before me. And somewhere along the way, without even realizing it, I mistook the rituals for the relationship. I loved the church. I loved the structure. I loved the sense of certainty. But did I love him? Or had I loved the idea of him? On that day, March 12th, I awoke early. The air was crisp, the sky bruised with purple as dawn fought its way up from the horizon. I packed my things carefully. My cassock folded neatly. My prayer rope worn thin from years of handling. A small wooden cross Mama had given me before she died. I prayed before I left, a prayer more habitual than heartfelt. And as I drove to the monastery retreat, where I was supposed to hear confessions and lead vespers, I thought about the usual things: the state of the parish roof, the stubbornness of the younger clergy, whether the holy fire ceremony this year would draw even bigger crowds. My mind buzzed with these small, sacred anxieties. I didn't feel death approaching. It came as soft as a sigh. The world blinked. 1 second, asphalt hummed under my tires. The next, there was nothing. No sound. No wait. No crash. Just silence and a sensation of being lifted, not violently, but gently, like a mother scooping up a sleeping child. I floated above, twisted metal, a crumpled cassock stained with blood, red and blue light strobing through the early morning mist. I should have felt horror, but I didn't. Instead, I felt stillness, complete, clean, terrible in its clarity. I realized I am dead. And somehow that thought carried no terror, only awe. As I hovered, the world began to recede. The sirens, the shouting medics, the sorrow of broken flesh, it all grew distant, like a shadow dissolving before a brighter light. And oh, the light, it wasn't just bright. It was alive. It pulsed like a heartbeat through unseen space. It was breathing. It was aware. And I, tiny, weightless, speechless, was being drawn toward it, like a dying ember toward the sun. Every part of my soul screamed, "This is the source." not the rituals, not the buildings, not the smoke and chants. Him. From the very center of that living light came a voice, not thunderous, not shattering, but so deep, so resonant, so real it vibrated through every molecule of who I was. It simply spoke my name. Dimitri, not Father Dimitri, not priest, just Dimitri. And the way he said it, with infinite strength, with bottomless mercy, with a knowing that stripped me bare and built me whole all at once. It broke me in a single instant, without theology, without argument, without a single book or lecture. I knew this was Jesus Christ, not an idea, not a doctrine, not a figure on a gilded iconostasis. Alive, here, real, and suddenly, decades of ministry felt like standing outside the banquet hall with my nose pressed against a window. I had chanted about him. I had preached about him. I had defended miracles in his name, but I had never fallen into his arms. In his hand, Jesus held a flame, small, golden, soft, yet it burned with a power so intense. I felt it could consume the universe, and yet leave a single fragile soul untouched. If that soul loved him, he didn't wave it like a magician. He didn't display it for effect. He simply was a flame, and the flame was him. And he said, not aloud, but soul to soul, you have honored my miracles. Now come know my heart. And then he wept. He wept for me, not with disappointment, with longing, as if he had been waiting my whole life for me to step through the door instead of standing outside admiring it, still wrapped in the embrace of Jesus. I was shown visions, not visions for spectacle, but for truth. I saw Jerusalem, not as tourists see it with cameras, but as heaven sees it, the ancient stones weeping for the one they once carried, the churches bustling with candles and crowds, yet flickering with hunger they didn't even realize they had. I saw pilgrims crowding the Church of the Holy Sepulchre on Holy Saturday, some trembling with real awe, some jostling for the best photos, some crying genuine tears, some treating the miracle like magic, and over it all, Jesus wept. He wept not because the miracle was fake. The holy fire was real. But what good is the miracle, he whispered, if it does not ignite the heart? Then I saw the fire spread, not contained by Orthodox walls, not limited by tradition. The fire leapt into Protestant prayer meetings in crumbling storefronts, into Catholic cathedrals where desperate souls cried out in secret, into homes where Bibles lay dusty but unopened, waiting for trembling hands to lift them again. I saw teenagers on their knees in abandoned fields, grandmothers whispering Jesus' name alone in kitchens, prisoners clutching torn pages of scripture in darkened cells. The fire wasn't waiting for robes. It wasn't demanding credentials. It was searching for hunger. And wherever it found even the tiniest ember, it roared to life. I heard his voice again, clear and unstoppable. I did not come to build monuments. I came to build hearts, and I am still knocking. He showed me how easy it had been, Even for me, a priest, to replace relationship with ritual, to swap intimacy for familiarity, to let mystery become memory instead of living movement. And he wept again, not because he had been forgotten entirely, but because he had been remembered wrongly, a figure on a wall, an event once a year, a distant king, not a present friend. I want more, he said, not more ceremonies, more hearts. He made it clear this was not a call for Orthodox alone, or Catholics alone, or Protestants alone. The fire falls where it finds thirst, he said, not where it finds titles. The revival that was coming, it would not start on stages. It would start in living rooms, in secret closets of prayer, in ordinary lives surrendered to extraordinary love. Then I saw it, a map of the earth glowing not with wars or politics, but with small hidden fires, in jungles, in cities, in refugee camps, in villages forgotten by men, but remembered by heaven. Each fire sparked not by eloquence, but by desperation, not by strategy, but by hunger. These fires didn't need a holy sepulchre. They didn't need a stage. They needed only him. Finally, he turned toward me, those eyes of eternal fire and water locked on my broken, burning soul. He said, "Tell them, Dmitri, the holy fire was never meant to be observed. It was meant to be received. Tell them, I do not want more spectators. I want burning ones. Tell them, I am coming for hearts lit with love, not just hands holding candles." When I opened my eyes again, I was lying in a hospital bed. Machines beeped softly. The scent of antiseptic filled my lungs. But I was not the same. I was no longer content with incense alone. I was no longer satisfied with tradition alone. I craved not just to see his fire, but to be consumed by it, to live it, to breathe it, to carry it. I served God in robes for 30 years, but I met him face to face when I had nothing left to offer. Do not wait for death to know him. Do not settle for ceremonies when the King himself is waiting for you. You were made not just to hold the light, but to burn with it. If the story stirred your heart, like and share this video if you are choosing burning relationship over empty routine. Comment below if you say yes to letting Jesus light your heart with real fire. I'll pray over every single comment. Subscribe for more testimonies that call you back to the true, living Jesus, the one who still burns for you today. And remember, he is still knocking. He is still burning. He is still calling. And the fire is still falling. Will you burn for him?